Hi, how are you doing today, Mr. Senyangi? Here again with trigonometric on numbers for grade 12. Um, I hope grade 12s are all well. Yes, here we go. When you try to look at question 1, which says if cos, this is question 1.1, which says if cos of 23 is equal to P, then they want us to express cos of 203. Yes, if you find such a question, what do we need to do or what do we need to be knowing? We need to know that a cos of 203 is the same as cos of 180, then uh, plus a 23 degrees. Yes, you always look at the given information at first, then you know that you have to get these special angles. Then um, actually we take it from this reduction part, of which this is all science teachers care. In this quadrant, they are all positives, and in this quadrant, it's a sign which is positive, and it is 180 minus theta. This is a tan whereby it's 180 plus theta, and this is a 360, then minus theta. So this means that a 180 plus theta is in the third quadrant, which is tan. And obvious, here we're having a cos. That means in this quadrant, the third quadrant, a cos is a negative. So it will become a negative cos of 23. See? Yes, when you go back to the given information, they said cos of 23 is a p. So I'll be coming here and say this is a negative what? A negative p. Another thing, we don't need to forget uh, that we don't need to forget that, sorry, that when you try to look at this cos of 23 is equal to p, this means that if I'm to draw a triangle, this is a 23. It means cos is adjacent, which is a p, over hypotenuse, which is a 1, that invisible 1. So this one will turn to be a 1 minus p squared. The second question, which says that sine of 293, this sine of 293, obvious, comes from the sine of 360 minus a 67. Don't forget this triangle is a 90. If this is 23, it means this one will be a 60, a 67. So it will be easier for you to know that sine is opposite, which is a p, over hypotenuse, which is a 1. Obvious, this one, when you try to look through the fourth quadrant, is a 360 minus theta, and this is sine of 360 minus theta. It means in the fourth quadrant, a sine is a negative. So this is the negative of sine 67. All right. But um, if you try to look at, sine is opposite, which will be a p, which gives you a negative p over hypotenuse, which is a 1. There is also the alternative case. If it is sine If there's an alternative sign, if it is a sign of negative sign of 67, it can also be a negative sign of 90 minus 23. You see, of which this one gives us a negative sign of 23, meaning that sign of 23 to be opposite, which will be negative of square root of 1 minus p squared over 1. So these two formulas will always take us to the final answer. Yes, that's how we deal with that question one. Yes, if we go ahead to look at uh, this question here, which is a sine of 90 plus x and sine of negative x, then tan of 180 plus x, then divided by a cos of 360 minus x and sine of x minus 180 degrees. Yes, this all comes from what we call reduction. From the reduction, it's where everything is coming from. The sine of 90, we also have this thing of sine of 90 plus x will always give you a cos of x. And the cos of 90 minus x will always give us a positive sign. And sine of 90 plus x, no, this is cos of 90 plus x will always give us a negative sign, like that. So if we go ahead by looking at that question 2.1, a sine of 90 plus x will always give us a cos of x. Then a sign of a negative, it will give us a negative sign of x. And tan of 180 plus x, this is the t here of which it is proposing the motion. It means if it is tan of 180 plus x, it remains as tan of what? Tan of x. Yeah, cos of 360 also is proposing, because it is in the fourth quadrant, it remains as cos of what? Cos of x. And sine of 180, it will always give us a negative sign of x. Now, try to look at this. This sign will cross out with this one, and this cos will also cross out with the cos. Then you will remain with the answer as tan x. That is from reduction. Thank you. If we go to this 2.2, this question of 2.2, which says tan of 300 plus cos of 90 plus x divided by the sine of x plus a 2 cos of negative 30. Obvious, we know from reduction, this tan of 300, when we reduce it, it becomes tan of 360 minus a 60. You see? Cos of 90 plus, we saw it here, cos of 90 plus will always give us a negative sign. This is a plus here and a negative sign of what? A negative sign of x divided by, this one will give us sign of x, it will remain, then plus a 2 cos of 30, because cos of a negative is a positive. Yeah, this one obvious is a negative tan 60 because it is in the fourth quadrant. So then minus sine of x divided by um, a sine of x plus 2. Then this one gives you root 3 over 2 from the special angles that we covered. And finally, tan of 60 is the same as negative root 3 then minus sine of x,